In Spain, inflation has reached a 2-year high in February. The figure was published by the National Statistics Institute, which also explained that the inflation rate recorded on an annual basis was up 3.4%. Rising oil and food prices pushes inflation to its highest level since 2008 in the country, making more troubles for the already struggling families and companies.
This is bad news for households and is going to reduce furthermore what's left of their income. Regular wages won't be enough to meet monthly spendings. Part of the rise is due to tax hikes and administrative price, but oil prices are the main reason, especially in Spain, which is a big importer.
The Spanish economy shrank 0.1% in 2010, and the unemployment rate was at 20.33%, the highest level in the European Union. The government increased value-added tax to 18% from 16% in July last year, as part of austerity measures to cut public deficit.
As a businessman, I worry because higher fuel in a struggling economy will push people to take drastic measures. In this sector, it means using more public transport and cars. I see more clients complaining, but I remind them that more than 60% of fuel prices are government taxes.
The government expects an economic growth of 1.3% in 2011, in contradiction with the International Monetary Fund, which predicts growth of just 0.6%. Prime Minister José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero said that inflation was a problem and predicted a slowdown in oil prices. However, political events in North Africa and the Middle East have sent oil prices soaring back to almost $110 a barrel, which will push inflation even higher. Spain is battling to avoid being the largest economy to be bailed out. But the growing inflation is another reason to think that the households and the Spanish economy will have another difficult year ahead. Sonia Laboon, Press TV, Madrid.
The Action News investigators first exposed details of this investigation back in December. Tonight, we're breaking new ground with something even the police don't have. These guys accused of being rogue cops were actually caught on tape during a drug raid. We've got the recording, and it's not flattering for these cops who are now facing criminal charges. You're watching a performance by a rock band called One, Others Not Equal. But this story isn't about heavy metal. It's about allegations of heavy-handed and unprofessional police tactics. The lead singer, Rudy Simpson, says he was a victim of these tactics in a drug raid at his home. It all centers around this man, State Police Lieutenant Luke Davis, who's now facing corruption charges. In June of 2008, the Omni Drug Task Force, headed by Lieutenant Davis, executed a search warrant on Rudy Simpson's Monroe County home. They based the search on an anonymous tip and a marijuana stem they said they found in the garbage. When the cops came in, Rudy's band was practicing in this basement recording studio. What the police didn't know is that the microphones were hot and everything was being recorded. Take a listen.
Hope they're not mixing.
But they were mixing, and two cops take turns singing on the mic, not knowing the whole thing is being recorded.
I love rock and roll. Looking back on the memory.
While those cops were in the basement, Rudy, his friend Jeremy, and members of the band were taken upstairs, where Lieutenant Davis and other task force members were searching the house. They were shocked by the behavior of the police.
Very unprofessional, almost thuggish. I felt violated and almost like if it was a game to them.
Going into kitchen cabinets, eating cookies, and going in the refrigerator, eating stuff out of the refrigerator. It was very unprofessional.
And it wasn't exactly a big drug haul for the cops either.
4 ounces in the bag.
They found a 1/4 ounce of marijuana, 12 small seedlings in a pot they claimed were marijuana, and a half a pain pill that Rudy later produced a prescription for. These guys say the police seemed more interested in Rudy's stuff than they were in the drugs they found.
Basically, what I heard them talking about was what equipment, what materialistic stuff could they take out of my house. It seems like, yeah, that they were just trying to figure out what they could come out of here with.
And now, hear it for yourself, caught on the band's equipment that the cops don't know was recording.
Well, we keep a bunch of booze, right? Well, where are we at? I mean, that's Luke's fault, not mine. I was just trying to get your tail on. Yeah, when Luke comes out here, he's going to want to take everything. Band, you're going to say that 1/4 ounce, at least 1/4 ounce there, is going to give us a chance to take all this stuff, according to Luke. Hey, what do you want to take in the basement. You want to take the drums and all that or no?
The police wound up taking 3 pages worth of stuff from the house, including some of Rudy's personal property, a 52-inch flat-screen TV, a DVD player, 2 computers, a camera, and a bunch of DVDs. Under the law, police are only supposed to confiscate property that was purchased with money earned from drug sales. Rudy admits he was smoking pot, but what evidence did they have that he was selling drugs?
There was none. There was no sales. There was no undercover cops. There was nothing on paper. It was basically an anonymous tip, they said.
The Luke Davis corruption charges raise serious questions not only about the conduct of police officers, but also about Michigan's drug forfeiture laws. This report from a group called the Institute for Justice, Policing for Profit, rates all the states for their forfeiture laws. Michigan gets a D-. In Michigan, in a drug raid, they can take your property just with probable cause. In a lot of states, the burden is a lot higher, proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Tuesday, March 1st, 2011, and I'm Darko. Welcome to part 2 of this news bulletin, everyone. Please visit my website, www.ggnonline.com. That's ggnonline.com. Alright, well, we just watched that couple of videos there about Spain's inflation and then the police, well, just being police, right? And we left off in the last video, symptoms resulting from chemtrail spraying, and a lot of all this different symptoms, mostly allergies, respiratory problems, and then we go to this article from Epic Times. Allergy season could lengthen due to climate change. Oh, so it's climate change. It's not the spraying that they're doing in the air. Allergy season may lengthen due to recent latitudinal warming in Central North America, which has increased the length of ragweed pollen season, according to a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. And I'm going to keep moving on here. Iran produces vaccine, and I just want to point out there, just so you don't think I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist, I know that they started spraying a long time ago. I mean, I've seen movies, and you can call them persistent contrails, whatever the hell you want to call them, but I call them aerosol spraying, cloud seeding, weather modification, and it's been going on since they created planes. I mean, I was seeing trails from old movies in the 60s and 50s, so very few, but it's become very, very, very prominent now since the 90s. And I never had allergies until 1994, 1995, and lo and behold, that's when the massive spraying started to become apparent, right? So, and they were really, really bad, so more people are becoming allergic, and their allergies are getting worse as they spray more and more. Iran produces vaccine for burn bacteria, and then we have Alzheimer's misdiagnosed in elderly. A new study suggests that Alzheimer's disease is often misdiagnosed in the elderly, raising concerns that existing diagnostic methods for the disease are inefficient. And it says, is an Alzheimer's vaccine in a nasal spray, and 1 in 8 Americans will fall prey to Alzheimer's. And it goes on here and talks about a new way to fight Alzheimer's. So another vaccine, just like a cocaine vaccine, an alcoholic vaccine. They'll have vaccines for everything. It says here, Gilead's $35 HIV prevention pill fails to win doctor support. And move on here. Half of men may have HPV infections, study says. Then red meat linked to stomach and esophageal cancer. Sorry, I guess that means esophagus, but red meat consumption increases the risk of both stomach and esophagus cancers, according to a study conducted by research from the nonprofit World Cancer Research Fund and Cancer Research. And next is E. coli found on 50% of shopping carts. Federal report, almost half of babies aborted in New York City were black. Then we have, let's see here, accidental death becomes suicide when insurers dodge paying life benefits. So it's a bad deal for that individual. Army swaps sit-ups for combat run and new PT tests. And look at how it says this. The U.S. Army is revamping its yearly fitness test for the first time in 30 years to better toughen soldiers for battle, adding exercises such as running an obstacle course in full combat gear, which will be great and everything. But look what they're going to do. They're basically going to drop the regular PFT that most people do in the service, whether it's Navy, Marine Corps, Army, Air Force. They all do the sit-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups, pull-ups, and push-ups, and the run, of course. But Marines, they don't do the push-ups thing. It's just the sit-ups, pull-ups, and 3-mile run. So, but now Army's going to abandon it, and it kind of figures, right? Because it's not really about real fitness, I think. It's more about machines and humans just kind of operating machines, and then eventually the human element being phased out of policing and surveillance and basically combat altogether. So, and the Army's standards have lowered physical standards. There's actually a large number of people in the Army that are actually obese. So, and guess what? That's what Michelle Obama is going to model. She's going to use the Army's dietitian or nutrition model for children, right? So there you go. Prison sought for driver who hit Brazil cyclist, and it says prosecutors asked a judge Tuesday to order preventative detention for a motorist who ran down dozens of bike riding activists in southern Brazil, injuring at least 40 people. So food prices to skyrocket, riots could follow, suggests USDA. And then we have U.S. inflation cost, Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya unrest. Don't have enough time, but you can come in here. The link will be posted. This is from the National Inflation Association. A great website, and they do really, really great work. So it breaks it down very nicely. UK food prices mounting unreasonably. Food prices in Britain have been rising unreasonably rapidly, forcing the government to take action against grocers. Price controls. Child brain scans to pick out future criminals. The seeds of criminal antisocial behavior can be found in children as young as 3, scientists have claimed. So here we go, right? We knew this was coming. More researchers believe that violent tendencies have a biological basis, and the test and brain imaging can pick them up in children. So we're talking about pre-crime now, where basically, like I said, the state will take over the birthing process, and so like I said, you'll fit your little job description, whatever it is, and they'll give you whatever disease they want to give you so that you don't live a certain amount of time. But also, if you have, quote, bad genes, right, because this is eugenics, then you may not even be born, right? Or you may just go to jail or go into a mental institution and be drugged up for your entire life. Pediatricians want teens banned from tanning. And then the next one we have is laptop tracks gaze, taking eye tracking out of lab. And it says here, in another demonstration this week, the computer scrolled a text on the screen in response to eye movements, sensing when the reader reached the end of a visible text. And it says here, in the future, a laptop like this could make a mouse cursor appear where you are looking, or make a game character maintain eye contact. So that's pretty creepy stuff, but kind of cool at the same time. Google changes search engine, and this is bad for people like me because what? Oh, I have a low quality website, see? So now they're going to bump me down in the search engine and go here. It's just another way for the NSA and them to basically filter out people who are speaking the truth. Then we have this, May 11th, 2011 is the deadline for states to comply with the federal standard for national ID. So the real ID, which is a national ID, all federalized, will be mandatory by May 11th, 2011. DARPA, of course, they're not going to say that, right? You're just going to have your regular local ID that you normally have. This is a picture of the DARPA's cheetah bot designed to chase human prey. So basically DARPA is creating a robot that can chase down humans. There's also something that's been created for the Pentagon, machines, robots, like Terminator type robots, made, I believe it was designed by DARPA as well, and it can actually feed off human flesh. It says off flies and flesh, but it's talking about basically humans. That's what it's alluding to. So it can kill humans and then feed off them and for energy purposes. Army wants rapid fire rubber bullets for crowd control, and of course they do, right? Says here, new stealth bomber could control drones, fire lasers, and bust bunkers. Then we have Russia launches $650 billion military plan. Small nuclear war could reverse global warming for years. So hey, let's do it. Let's do the Jericho. Let's drop some bombs. Congress zeroes in on FCC's net neutrality rules. So FCC now has control over the internet, so it's only a matter of time until they start regulating it. No place left to hide drugs with new X-ray technology for airports. New X-ray technology that can reveal drug smugglers' internal cavities will be trailed at airports under a plan to fast-track security searches. And lastly, an Alaska lawmaker takes a taxi cab, ferry, and plane to avoid a body scanner search. This is GGN, and I'm Darko.